friends, Miss Christie here. Happy Friday. It is snack time again, and I'm so excited to be back with you to share a new snack recipe. And since it's Friday and sometimes families do movie nights on Fridays, I thought we would make popcorn on the stove. So we've done this once or twice in class, and a couple friends had never had popcorn on the stove before, so I thought it might be fun to share what we did, and it's delicious, so I hope you try it. So first step, as always, we're gonna wash our hands. Okay friends, since we've got clean hands now, I wanna go ahead and show you what you're gonna need to make this recipe. It's only a few ingredients. Hopefully you might have them at home so you're not having to go out. But you're gonna need some type of vegetable oil. I'm actually gonna use olive oil today. We use a lot of olive oil at our house, so that's what I have on hand. So you're gonna need some olive oil, you're gonna need some popcorn kernels. So a bag of popcorn won't work. You're gonna need the kind that are actually in kernel form like this. And then just some good old salt, which most of you should have. The materials you're gonna need, just a couple of tablespoons, a measuring cup, and then a pot to cook your popcorn in. So pretty quick, pretty simple. Our first step is going to be to pour 2 tablespoons of your oil into your pot. And we're actually gonna put everything in first and then cook it all at once. So that makes it pretty easy to do. So we're gonna pour in 2 tablespoons of your oil. Okay. And then you are gonna pour in 1/3 cup of your popcorn kernels. So I've got 1/3 cup. Open up our kernels. And pour those in. And 2, when you pour your oil in, you might want to swirl your pan just a little bit. That way your oil gets all over the bottom. And you're going to want to use a pan that has a lid. So when we cook it, we can put a lid on it to help keep some of that temperature in. So you have 1/3 cup of popcorn kernels. And then I'm just going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to sprinkle that right over the kernels. Now, once your popcorn is cooked, if you don't feel it's salty enough, you can definitely add some more once it's popped. But I tried this the other day and it was pretty delicious with that much salt. So we're just gonna pour a 1/4 teaspoon of salt over. And that's it. And you put the lid on, and now we're gonna bring it over the stove, and I'm gonna show you what to do from there. All right, friends, so now we are at the stove, and just to recap, we put 2 tablespoons of a vegetable oil or olive oil in there, 1/3 cup of popcorn kernels, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Put the lid on, we're over at the stove, and you're gonna wanna turn your burner on and have an adult help you with this to about medium. So we don't want it to cook too quick and burn. So a medium is a good temperature. So we're here at the stove, I've got my oven mitts, we've turned our burner on to medium, and now you're basically just gonna wait for it to start popping. Everything's in there, so we don't really need to lift the lid until we hear about, I would say, 5 seconds between popcorn kernel pops. And we'll kind of talk about that when we get to that a little bit closer. So now we're just gonna wait. You're gonna kind of shuffle it around once it starts popping so that it doesn't burn on the bottom. And you can keep those popcorn kernels popping, but for now we're just going to wait for it to start popping. Hey friends, so it's been about 5 minutes since we put the popcorn on the stove for it to start popping. So if you're standing here cooking this and it's taking forever and you're like, this isn't working, just know that it took about 5 minutes to start popping. So now it has started, like I said, and I'm just gonna grab some oven mitts here. And like I said before, you're gonna just wanna shake the popcorn a little bit so that the kernels that are not cooked go on the bottom and the popcorn that is popped goes to the top of the pan. So we're just gonna kind of keep shaking it until we hear about 5 seconds between kernels where you don't hear a popping noise. And that's how we know it's gonna be done. And we're gonna take it off the burner so that it doesn't start burning. All right, friends, so now it is done popping. I'm gonna turn off the burner, have an adult help you turn off the burner. Take your pot holders, and we're gonna carefully carry the pan over to whatever your workspace you're working on. All right, so now that we are back at our workspace, you're just gonna set the pan down on an oven mitt, or I have a cutting board here, so I just set it on my cutting board. And then you're gonna wanna carefully take off the lid. There's gonna be a lot of steam in there from the popcorn popping. You do not wanna burn yourself. So ask a parent or adult to help you with this part, but you're just gonna carefully take off the lid and set it to the side. I'm next to my sink, so I'm gonna set it in the sink. And then I have a popcorn bowl here, and you're just gonna take your popcorn and dump it in. And I'd say we did a pretty good job because I didn't find a single kernel in there, so that's great. All right, so now that is pretty much it. Super simple to make it on the stove, especially when we put all of the ingredients in first and just have to let it pop, not having to worry about taking the lid on and off. This makes about this much popcorn, if you can kind of see it. So for a family of 4, everyone would get a little bowl, probably about this much popcorn. So if you want a lot of popcorn, like at our house for Friday night movies, we eat a lot of popcorn, I would double the recipe just so you get a little bit more. But this is a great afternoon snack if you want to try it. I hope you do try to make it this weekend with your family if you have the ingredients. And that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye friends, miss you. If we had smell-o-vision, it would smell amazing right now because it smells really good.